Hi, I'm Paul Brodie. We're back in the shop. Guy called Mitch behind the cameras, and welcome back. I have a project today. I'm going to make a megaphone for the Big Bore motor. And here I got a photo. I'll show you. It's a whole exhaust system. And back maybe 25 years ago, I was making these, and I'd make the header pipe. I'd sell headers, and then I'd also sell the whole race pipe as well. So what we're doing today is we're making the megaphone, and it starts here and it ends here. And back in those days, that was 25 years ago, I'm pretty sure that I sold the whole thing unpainted for $149 US. So cheap. So it gets made out of 18 gauge. This is some sheet metal here. It's cold rolled. There's no scale on it. That's 049. And here's my patterns. And it took me a while to find these because I haven't used them for a very long time. And so I'm going to lay them out. I got a shear over there. I'm going to mark it with a felt pen. And I also use snips as well. And then here we got a roller. Now, I didn't make this roller. It was made by my neighbor who used to live right next door to me. His name was Ed Molka. He was a Dutch guy. And he got cancer and he lasted about a year and then he was gone. That was probably 8-10 years ago. It's hard to remember exactly how long. So that was sad, but I have cancer too. I have it for about 4 years now, but I'm still here, and feeling good. So how this works is I'll cut the cone and then see how the rollers have a taper to them. And look at that, it just fits in there. And then basically that's kind of how it works. I roll the metal and then I have to do a little TIG welding. This is the cone that goes on the end. And then to join this onto here, I made up this. I found it. So this holds the larger cone. This holds the smaller cone. It's not the same angle. And then when I do up the Allen screws, you can see where these meet in the middle. And I do a little TIG tack around there. Then I take this off and I weld it up. So do a little TIG welding as well today. Okay, so first thing I'll do is I'll mark this out with my felt pen, and then we'll go over to the shears. Actually, what I'll do, I don't know if this is perfectly accurate. I'll mark the ends, and then I'll take a steel ruler, which I know is going to be very straight. So I've had this cardboard a very long time. It got hidden. It took a while to find. A friend found it, actually. That was Jay. If I can't find things in my shop, sometimes I get friends to look because that seems to work. Okay, this is going to be a much better line than the cardboard. Okay, that's step one. So I'll cut off this first. It cuts pretty nicely. Okay. Just got to go gently. There we go. So you can see it's not flat, eh? It's got a radius. So now I'll do this. Okay, I'm going to cut a little bit off here, and then this has a curve like that. I'll do that with the hand shears, but I'll make it easier because I'll cut off the excess. Okay, so these would be called snips, I think, not shears. That's the shear. These are the snips, and the ones with the red handle are right hand, and I got a pair with a green handle. Those are left hand. So there is a difference. So there, we have a slight curve on both ends now. Trying to be as accurate as possible. Okay. So you do a little bit at a time. There's no way you can do it all at once. You have to just have some patience. There you go. So I'm just doing maybe 1/8 of a turn. Okay, I'm going to take it out. Going to have a look. See what we've done here. Like I say, it comes out here. See what holds it on? It's nails. That's how Ed made it all those many years ago. So that's not bad. So see how it'll come up. It's hard to get it to do the last bit. So what I do now, see these hose clamps? I think I used 5 hose clamps that go around here. And that's what holds it together. And then I do a tack weld. And then I put it back in the roller after it's tack welded. Go round and round, and that's what helps to make the last little bit of it round. So let's just see what happens here. I can't remember the last time I made a megaphone. Probably 10 years ago or more. Long time. I got a number on here. I remember using 5. And this is number 5. And there's number 3. And no number. Oh, look, there's number 4. Okay, I might as well put them in the right order then, because I did have a system at one point. It's slowly coming back to me. It's a wonder I kept all this stuff, you know? It's just been upstairs. I got a place upstairs with all of the Aramaki stuff. I started the company, Aermacchi Northwest. That was in 1999. I had a Vincent motorcycle that I'd worked on for a quarter of a century, and I finally got around. I sold that. It wasn't stock, and I got $19,000 at the time. And I used that money so I could start up Aermacchi Northwest. And so it was what I'd call a micro niche market. I mean, how many people have even heard of Aermacchis? But I was keen, and I was racing, selling. I was making parts, importing parts, racing parts, and selling them. And I became known as the Aramaki guy. So that's kind of how that went. Okay, I'm going to roll this one next, and not sure how I hold that one because it's much more of a tapered cone, so you can't use a hose clamp. Maybe I use vice grips or something, I can't remember. So what I do on this one is, because it doesn't match the angle of the roller, it's too steep. As I roll it, I'm moving the cone, and because it's kind of on the narrow side, I can make that work. Do you see how I'm moving it as I bring it through? It's a technique. So just a little at a time. And because it's shorter, it's a lot easier to roll. A longer cone is harder to roll. It takes more force. Okay, so I'll switch on the torch, and just want to do a few little, very small tacks there. I'm not using any rod here, so it's known as a fusion weld. I'm just melting, and the two sides get melted together. Okay, I didn't burn any holes. That's good. Let's take this back to the bench. and we can roll it rounder. I also like to hammer it down a little bit, so because right now it's kind of coming up like that, because when you roll it, you're not rolling right to the edge. You get very close, but not right to the edge. So we want it to be a good job. Okay, so that's basically what it looks like. Little tack welds all along. No holes to fill in. Happy about that. So gonna do a little bit of body work here. I should have something that's solid, but I think this might work. So all you sheet metal guys out there, you're probably cringing now. I do a little bit of sheet metal. I'm not great at it, but I get it done. So okay, it's not actually touching there. So when I tack it, I'm going to have to use a little bit of a rod. That's what I think. And then after I do that, I can put it back on the rollers and roll it round. Then I'm going to belt sand this end and that end. And then I'll use this to hold them together. And we'll do a tack. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. That's not bad. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, it's coming up to tension. There we go. So can you see that? Looks good, doesn't it? It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna finish the welding. Okay. It's a good thing I kept all these pieces and didn't just recycle stuff and a little warm. All right, so we have a megaphone. I just have to weld it up. I'll do that in my own spare time when I haven't been doing a bunch of work, because you need unshaky hands for that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. A little bit of sheet metal, a little bit out of my comfort zone, a little bit, but I've done it before. And you know that Mitch and I like coffees. Please subscribe, buy us coffees, tell your friends. See you next time.